Hello, folks. I hope you guys be taking care of yourself. Yeah, today presentation is gonna be about true anarchy being the answer to human slavery. I'm gonna explain what anarchy is, because I think it's a concept that needs to be hammered down to people because most people who think to be awakened, they still don't understand what anarchy is, and unfortunately they fall for the political polarization and the Hegelian dialects, and not understanding that none of these two political spectrum are the answer. Okay, they are the opposite. They're enslaving humanity. Okay, which is part of government, left wing and right wing polarization. So the title of the presentation is "True Anarchy is the Answer." So let's get into it. What is anarchy? Anarchy comes from the English word anarchy. The English word anarchy is derived from the Greek prefix "an", okay, "an", meaning without, absence of, and the Greek noun archon, meaning ruler and master. So therefore, anarchy does not mean without rules, like many people erroneously believe it is. It literally means without rulers, no masters, therefore no slaves. Okay, which is freedom. Okay, yeah, it's equal. Anarchy is the equal, let's say, equation. Is the equation of freedom, the equal equation of freedom. Okay. Anarchy is the state of existence where there are no masters and no slaves. Therefore, anarchy means the absence of slavery. In other words, freedom. That's all it is. That's what anarchy means, folks. It does not mean without rules or chaos. Okay? A lot of people unfortunately get it wrong. Humanity does not even think about a world without government because the bunch of children, as we're gonna see in the next few slides. Okay, and especially people in the freedom movement, they're thinking about that they're gonna end human slavery and achieve freedom through the legal system of slavery. Okay, when in point of fact, anarchy is the answer, but not just simple anarchy, as we're gonna see. This stereotype false definition of anarchy. Anarchy does not mean without rules or chaos. Put that shit in your mind. I want you to. I'm trying to hammer down this concept on people's mind because people don't get it. Okay, that's why I'm making this presentation. People don't understand what anarchy is. Okay, I see a lot of misconception. Okay, what makes me sad, it comes from people in the freedom movement that they think they are awakened, don't understand the concept of anarchy, and they want to talk about this greater awakening. There ain't no awakening happening. An awakened population, the first thing that it does is to remove the concept of authority and government vested in human beings. Period. Okay, if you don't have that don't if you don't understand that government is human slavery, you're not awakened. Okay, if you believe the concept in of authority and government and this legal system of man's law, you're not awakened. Okay, period. You need to understand this. Let's get to the next slide. What is anarchy, the real world definition? Anarchy is the state of existence in which individuals are not ruled or enslaved by others and are free to exercise their natural rights unrestrained by violence, duress, and coercion. This state can only be created and maintained via behavioral alignment to objective morality through a deep understanding of natural law. Morality creates freedom. 100% true. Okay? If you disagree with this definition, you're a sick person and you are ignorant and you are the problem. Okay? And you're not awakened. Okay? We only gonna achieve anarchy through understanding the objective difference between right and wrong behavior and understanding that morality is objective, period. Okay? No other way. You're not gonna achieve anarchy through true anarchy with moral relativism. Okay? Okay, you're not gonna get there with moral relativism. Period. Morality creates freedom. Okay? The more moral the society is, the freer it gets. The more moral relativist the society is, the more enslaved it becomes. Period. It's an equation that people need to understand. How can anarchy be achieved? Right versus wrong, the crux of the matter. True anarchy can only manifest whole population align their behavior to natural law. Okay? Universal moral laws of creation that God put into creation, period. Okay? You're gonna achieve true anarchy, understanding the difference between right and wrong behavior, the objective difference between right and wrong behavior, period. There's no other way around. Okay? That's how the law of creation really works. Therefore, anarchy can only be created through a correct understanding of objective morality. Okay, natural law. Let's see on the table natural law based upon principle and truth inherent to creation. Okay, man does not make up what right or wrong is. Period. Harmonize with due to knowledge and understanding. Okay, we're gonna get to anarchy and through knowledge and understanding of natural law, moral law, the moral laws of creation that God put into creation, period. The true God of creation, God with capital G, period. Not the bullshit version that the false religions they're trying to sell to people. Okay. Then the third point, he exists and applies anywhere in the universe, regardless of location. Eternal and immutable, exists and applies forever and cannot be changed. That's what natural law is. And if we want to achieve true anarchy, we need to understand natural law. Period. There's no other way. You're not gonna achieve true freedom with without the understanding of natural law and objective morality. It ain't gonna happen. Okay? Okay, period. And then you have human law based on upon dogmatic beliefs, constructs of mind, comply with due to fear of punishment, which is man's law, which is the antithesis of anarchy and true freedom. Period. It differs It differs with location based upon the whim of legislators, more relatives. Therefore, it means man can make up whatever he wants. Man can make up right or wrong. That's what it means, which is moral relativism. And you're not gonna achieve true anarchy with moral relativism. A lot of fake ass anarchists, people in the anarchy community, think they can achieve more they can achieve true anarchy with moral relativism. A lot of people in the true freedom, in the freedom movement as well, they're moral relativists, most of them, and atheists, scumbags. They think that their rights comes from government and from human beings. Can you believe this shit? Folks, for God's sake. And the last point, changes with time based upon the whim of legislators, moral relativism. It cannot happen. You're not going to achieve true anarchy with moral relativism. Okay? Moral relativism only lead to human slavery called government. That's what the system of slavery that we're living under is based upon. Okay? Let's move to the next slides. Anarchy combined with natural law leads to true freedom. Like I said, we need to understand the difference between right and wrong behavior. Period. Correct based in truth. That's what a right is. Moral, moral actions which are in harmony with natural law because they do not initiate harm to other sentient beings. Period. All right. This is how we're gonna achieve true freedom, and it's not gonna happen magically like the fake ass bullshit new age movement is trying to sell to people. There is gonna happen a magic shift in consciousness, or people are gonna suddenly wake up like a fairy, like magic. No, we need to spread the truth to people through speaking, putting the word out to the people, so they can understand natural law. Period. Okay, and then we have wrong. Wrong is incorrect, not based in truth. It's based on beliefs and ignorance and lies and deception. Immoral actions which are in opposition to natural law because they do initiate harm to other sentient beings. Okay? Period. This is what people need to understand. We're gonna get to the next slides. What is natural law? The law of freedom. Okay, we can call it like this, which 100% equate to how we can achieve true anarchy. So, when human beings in the aggregate live in the harmony with natural law and are therefore moral, they become and remain free. When human beings in the aggregate live in opposition to natural law and are therefore immoral, they become and remain enslaved. I refer to this dynamic of natural law as the law of freedom. As aggregate morality increases, freedom increases. As aggregate morality declines, freedom declines. Okay, it's a mathematical equation if you want to put it that way. You're not going to achieve freedom if you are immoral species. The very reason why we're not humanity is not able to achieve the state of true freedom and true anarchy is because we are an immoral species. We, well, it's not our nature, it's our condition to it. But how were we conditioned to become immoral species? Through mind control, because we buy into the mind control tactics of the social engineers without exercising conscience and discernment and questioning everything that will be sold every fucking day in our life. You know what I'm saying? People just they're swallowing down garbage belief systems, and they accept them as truth. That is why we're enslaved, folks. People want to blame the elite every day, saying, "Oh, the elite are the problem." No, it's ignorant people are the problem mainly. Okay, because in order for the elite to control the population, they need people to comply. They need people to buy into the bullshit belief system, wrong, erroneous belief system, and lies and deception in order to create slavery and chaos and death. Otherwise they can't operate. They can do nothing. Okay, and people need to understand this. This is the causal factor that I'm I'm trying to explain to people. You know, are currently an immoral species. That is why we're heading to a global dictatorship. Okay, quite frankly, overt slavery. There's no more covert. It's now it's overt slavery. Okay, that's what the new world order, the dark new world order, is all about. And it's happening not because the elite are trying to force that on people. Because people are immoral. They're condoning and exercising immoral behaviors. Okay, yeah, are the elite part of the problem? Absolutely, you can bet on it. But it's mainly because of people exercising immoral behaviors that we have no rights to do, and also because we are complying to the system of slavery. Okay, so let's get to the next slide. Anarchy and the two pillars of natural law, which is this is another very important, um, I would say, understanding. And when it comes to anarchy, in order to achieve anarchy as well, we need to understand the two main pillars of enlightenment and understanding and concept and principles, which is the principle of non-aggression. First, the sacred feminine. You can call sacred feminine. I like to call it the non-aggression principle. Okay, you do not initiate harm against any sentient being first. Never. Okay, you don't attack anyone for no reason or cause any harm for no reason. Okay, the first pillar of enlightenment is the sacred feminine principle, also called the non-aggression principle. This principle states do not engage in violence. In other words, do not immorally initiate non-rightful use of physical power to coerce, constrain, or compel the rightful physical behavior or free will choice of another sentient being. Okay? You do not ever initiate harm against any other sentient being. Period. Okay? And it's this is understanding these two principles is what's gonna lead to true anarchy and prosperity. Period. You're not gonna achieve true freedom and true anarchy without these pillars of natural law. Period. And the second pillar of enlightenment is the sacred masculine, or also called the self defense principle. This principle states sentient beings have the inherent right, okay? It's not given by man or government, it's inherent to creation because we are part of creation. The, the true creator of the universe, God, create this underlying super powerful almighty intelligence created. Okay, we have the inherent right to use force to defend themselves from violence conducted upon them by another being. Okay, if therefore it means if someone initiated harm against you and you know you are in the right, you have the right to defend yourself by any force, by any mean. That is why another great step to for achieving true freedom is having firearms, having guns. A true free society has firearms. Period. Okay, you're not gonna achieve freedom if you have no guns because you're not gonna be able to defend yourself because guns are the most effective weapon for self-defense. Okay, like it or not. I know many people don't want to hear that, but that's the case. It's the most effective way to defend yourself is to own firearms. Period. The end. Okay. Maybe there are more powerful and effective technology, but currently, right now on this planet, firearms are the most effective way for an individual to defend yourself, period. So that is why it's very important to have the right to own firearms as well. Okay, so let's get to the next slide. Why does humanity fear true freedom? Well, the vast majority of human beings fear true freedom because they are psychological children who don't want to embrace true responsibility and want of someone to take care of them. I should have put to take care of them instead of. Sorry about that. Most people don't want to be responsible for their actions because it requires change and admitting oneself to be wrong. Also, most human beings are scared of the fear of the unknown and they lack imagination. They don't want to abandon their erroneous religious beliefs. Um, yeah, that's the problem. Human beings are a bunch of fucking naive children, okay, who like to make temper tantrums every time. They're a bunch of naive children. They're children. Most adults that you see physically adults are actually children. They're not real men. They're fucking cowards and pussies. Okay, who are compliant to authority. The fucking cowards. They're like little children. They don't want to hear the truth because it conflicts with their pre-existing religious belief system, and they get offended when you try to tell them that you are enslaved and that you're not going to achieve freedom through the system of slavery called government. And also the bunch of children because they don't want to they don't want to embrace true responsibility for their own action. The most horrific thing that a human being in the state of ignorance has to deal with is responsibility for their own action. Ignorant people don't want to be responsible for their own action, and that's the dynamic of today's society, folks. Most people don't want to be responsible for their own action. They want somebody to take care of them. Okay, they want mommy and daddy government, whether you are a left wing or a leftist or a so-called conservatives. Okay, you're both fucking children. Okay, you still believe in government, statist piece of shit. Okay, I'm gonna be very harsh because I'm tired of people still believing government and not understanding that we are enslaved. The government is slavery. I hardly hear. In, I never hear people in the so-called alternative media or the true freedom movement say government is human slavery. That we need to uh, end the system of slavery called government. Never hear this. I never hear this. They're talking about nonsense. Most of them buy into unbelievably uh, stupid psyops, but they don't go to the causal factor, saying that government is human slavery, that we need to achieve true freedom, and nobody talks about the causal factors, folks. Everybody wants to talk about the symptoms of the disease instead of going to the causal factor. And also another thing why humans are scared, don't want fear true freedom is because they're scared of the unknown. They don't want to embrace the possibility of chaos in the short term when we remove government. Because yeah, we need to put in we need to consider the f- the fact that we're gonna have some short term of chaos when we end government. It's not gonna be easy immediately when you have an immoral species. in a moral population like the human beings are when you remove government in the firstly. Okay, yeah, there's gonna be some chaos when we remove government first, but then we can handle it if we pull up the big boy and big girls pants. Period. You know what I'm saying? And also, people, most human beings, the lack of imaginations, the lack of imagination. They don't have no creativity. That's what happens when people are too left brain imbalanced. They don't have no creative force in themselves. You know, that's what they're scared. A lot of people are asking when what would have been. I hear a lot of people saying if government is no longer here, the idea of government is destroyed. Who's gonna make the roads, of the bridges, and all this nonsense? There is always an alternative, uh, an alternative way of life that is beneficial to everyone on this planet. Period. This not. We don't need. We don't, what kind of species like us, like human beings, has to go through government and legislation and bureaucracy to do anything. We have to ask permission to people in power with these psychopaths, pedophiles, piece of garbage human beings. Okay, wearing a suit and tie, telling us what to do, lying every day to do what we need to do as a species. Okay, we're not free. As long as you have someone telling you, dictating what to do, you are a slave. You're not free. This is what people need to understand. And it's time for humanity to to be a grown human being. We need to be grown up and pull the big boy and big girls pants. Period. Okay? If we want to achieve true freedom, this is the uncomfortable truth that most people don't want to hear, especially people in the freedom movement. They don't want to hear that. They think they're going to achieve freedom through the system of slavery called government. Oh, no, we're going to have to uh, vote some new people, and removing the corrupt people and voting some new people in, so we can achieve true freedom. Yeah, where's my vomit puppet? I forgot to put my vomit puppet here because this is the retards, the dumb bags of shit in the freedom movement. They believe this shit. Okay, and they claim themselves to be awakened. You're full of shit. That's what you are. That's what you are. Okay, let's put it that way. They don't want to abandon their erroneous religious beliefs. Yes, most people, because removing government and aiming for true freedom, it means we need to abandon and destroy erroneous belief systems, which which are holding back humanity from forward progress. And most people don't want to hear that. Don't want to do that. They want to they want to have this erroneous belief system, thinking that they're going to achieve freedom with these erroneous beliefs. Like they believe in money, in government, and the false cultural religion, which are all exoteric teaching, no real. They don't teach any real spirituality. You know, you need to remove all these erroneous belief system in order to achieve freedom. And to do that, we need to do it through knowledge, through gnosis. Okay, applying the trivium methodology, combining with the quadrivium. Okay, period. Okay, All right, let's go to the next slide. Yeah, anarchy versus statism. Anarchy wins. The real political spectrum, a function of consciousness and morality. You see this chart here. You see on the arrow going up, enlightened and moral. On my left, you see, and then you have on the very bottom, unconscious and immoral. You know, and yeah, anarchy at the very top of the apex. uh, Anarchy, no masters, no slaves, true freedom is when an individual who is true anarchist, okay, not the fake ass anarchist that you see outside. The real anarchy who truly understand true freedom are enlightened and moral beings because you finally understand that there are many behaviors that we should not participate into and we should not condone as well. And people who support government are unconscious and immoral people, period. Whether you are a left wing supporter of left wing politics, socialism, communism, or if you are a national socialist, which is Nazism and fascism, and fascist, or a capitalist. Okay? It doesn't fucking matter. You are an unconscious being, period. Because you believe in government, which is a false, which is based on violence, coercion, and violence, and based on the false, erroneous belief that there is such a thing as authority vested in human beings. Okay? This is what people need to understand. And this chart says it all. Okay? The more you see communism here going towards to the left, to the stream on the at the very end to the left, to total control, which is slavery. And same thing with fascism here, going to the right, to the extreme right, which is slavery, total control. And some people, the so-called freedom movement, they're buying into this extreme again dialect. Some people, I hear people um, saying that they will support fascism rather than communism. When in point of fact, they're fucking both the same thing. Okay, it's still overt slavery. No matter how you achieve it, you can do it through left wing uh, politics or right wing politics. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's still fucking slavery. It's still statism. You still have people telling you what to do. Okay, it's just different methodology on achieving this, but it's still the same shit, which is human slavery. And people need to understand this. Okay, quite frankly. Let's get to the next slides. Governments are owned by corporations, run by psychopaths, lying about imaginary economy based on death, fueled by illegal wars, destroying ecosystems, poisoning food and water, decreasing education, increasing prisons, manipulating the media, uh, force forcing homes, forcing foreclosing homes, suppressing free energy technology, making us struggle, starving, humiliating, and killing the world. Yet you stay silent, follow a pathological culture, pay taxes, vote, and trust the government. 100% true. And if you don't understand this, you're not awakened. Okay? You are asleep, period. The limits of tyrants are, are prescribed by the endurance of those whom they oppress. Okay, You're a slave if you trust government. You're a naive child if you trust in government. Okay, not understanding the fucking over you. Okay, for the people who still believe in politics, I always imagine the elite. Okay, the Satanists who run this planet, um, sitting down in their multi-million dollar or pounds mansion or villa with cigars and cognac, okay, and liquors, watching on their TV, watching people buying into politics and any Hegelian dialects, laughing at people every fucking day, not understanding what government is and the Hegelian dialects. They're laughing. It's so funny when they see people buying to this shit, not realizing it's all bullshit. That is not. It's not a joke. It's not funny for them anymore. You know, they get upset sometimes. You know, and I understand them. Not that I agree with the fucking methodology of enslaving humanity, but I understand them why they're doing all this because people are ignorant, they're retards. You know what I'm saying? Ah, God's sake, people still can't see this shit. Let's get to the next slide. No masters, no slaves. That's the truth. That's what anarchy is. Period. And that is the true way to freedom, true pathway to freedom. Okay, that is true freedom, true anarchy. That's what we need to understand. We gotta put up our big boy and big girl's pants and become a grown adults. Okay, period. Because government is slavery. Okay, you are not free if you're living under government. If you any types of government, whether it's communism, fascism, so-called democracy, and monarchy, and whatever the fuck you want. Okay, as long as you have authority and you live in a system of coercion, authority telling you what to do, and having this laws, ridiculous man's laws, you are not a free human being. You are a slave, okay? Which is the condition of humanity right now. Most people believe, erroneously believe, that we are free. When you point of fact, you are enslaved, okay? And this is what people need to address to other people. People who know this information, okay? Period. And that it concludes my slide presentation. And thank you for watching this presentation. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, and share it with everyone. And yeah, peace out. See you next time. Y'all take care. Bye.